so everybody can see how to make a Santa Claus bag. These bags are pretty big, but that's okay because we're not going to do the whole bag on this one because I just want to do that Santa. Although I have some other Christmas stuff. I may actually, hang on, let me see if I got that other Santa here. Because I do have a bigger Santa somewhere in here. I think he's in here. I think he's in here, I'm not sure. He was in here. Had a big Santa. I'll have to look for him. So we're using the small Santa right now. But that's okay. Because the small Santa is kind of cool. So if you've never seen this before, guess what? You're in for a treat. So I have this really big laundry bag. I got these in a pack of like 4, I think, on Amazon. Haven't ironed them, which I probably should do. And for that I have, boy, I have a lot of stuff to do. I have lots of stuff to do. I have a mat. This goes with my Cricut heat press over here. You don't have to use a heat press for all these operations. You can use just a regular iron, but I'm going to use my heat press. And one of the things I'm going to do is I have these Teflon baking sheets. You don't have to use Teflon baking sheets. You can use parchment paper, but I choose to use the Teflon baking sheets. Let's see if I can get it off because I don't have fingernails. I spend my days typing on a computer. So the dull day job stuff. So I'm going to pull out my Teflon baking sheets. I don't need all of them, so this other one's going to get rolled up. I've got my my heat press on. Let's see. Helps if I have it over here to where I can see it. Yep, it's on fire. Fahrenheit. I'm putting it all the way up. I'm going to 360. It doesn't have to be 360. And I dropped the other Teflon sheet, but that's all right. Not a big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick one of my Teflon baking sheets inside the bag because I do not want the ink, when I get to the inking process, to come through the bag. So I like to use Teflon baking sheets. Like I said, you can use just regular old parchment paper. And parchment paper works just fine. You can even reuse it over and over. I choose the Teflon baking sheets because they're easy. And we're going to pick a spot that's right about in the middle. So 1, 2, 3 folds. So I'm going to get it a little farther towards that center fold. Right about there. That's where I'm going to put this. Maybe move this over slightly. It's not right there. Right in the middle. Right in the middle. So these are silk screen transfers that I'm using for this project. And these silk screen transfers, all that white area that you're seeing there is actually, that's actually a screen mesh. So it's like a fabric. And we're just waiting for that to heat up. And while that, oh look, it's heated up. I'm gonna wipe it off because I looked at it and I'm like, I've got ink on it more than once. I think that was probably from, I know, Des, why can't you clean your stuff before you go live? That would mean that I plan better. I'm a kind of a crafting hoarder, and I've always got like 10 million projects going on. So we should have a contest. How many projects does everybody have going on at the same time? And counting mine, yeah, there's some more underneath here. I have another wreath that I need to make. So I'm putting this, I need to turn this around because I'm looking at this and I'm going, wait a minute, the top is that way. You don't want to turn it, put it in there upside down. So I'm going to put this aside first, because the first thing that I need to do is iron this down so it's nice and flat right here. It's going to go right about there. I like to eyeball things, unlike other people who would probably go, no, you can't eyeball it. And I'm going to use a little bit of a mist. I know. And when I tell you guys, don't use water. You're not supposed to use water, except I'm using water. But I'm using water for a good cause, because I want to iron this out. There we go. I think that's looking pretty good. I don't want to do too much. Okay. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, the Teflon sheet needs to be evened out in there. Okay. So I have this like this. Let's pick our color. I'm going to pick our colors. If you're watching, please do, give me a shout, say something. Maybe even just a like. I know I'm begging. Shouldn't beg. But I want to keep this going. So I have this on here. I'm going to pick some colors for the Santa. Now, because this is rather light, I don't want any colors that are too light. So I have a black, a red, that would look good on it. I don't need any white. I have plenty of white. Oops. Uh-oh. The Couture Coral, there's not enough. You have that. I also have this blue. This Tide color. It's always a neat color. There's red. Red would work. And black. Hey Lynn, I'm thinking I like the Tide color to put on this bag, because Tide is just, there's something about this color. I think this color, this color right here speaks to me. Every time I start to do Christmas, I did one last year with Christmas. It wasn't a bag, it was something else. And I know what it was. It was a round sign. And I used a Tide color along with, I think it was silver. And it came out really neat. Just really super duper neat. Here's bark. We could use bark with it. Use these two colors. I know, Blue Santa. Yeah, Blue Santa. That's a good one. I know. Why are you doing Blue Santa? Because I like the color. It's so neat. Wait, here's another Tide. I probably need to use that one first because I haven't used it all. I'm kind of sketchy about using silver because silver doesn't really show up very well. Even on black, this silver doesn't, you know, it's a shimmer color, as you can kind of see here. But maybe we can brush it in. I think we could brush it in. So I think I'll go with the Tide. What do you think? Should I skip the bark, which is a brown color, and just go with the silver and the Tide? What do you think? Should I use the bark, silver and Tide, or just the silver and the Tide? Which one should I use? We'll put this to the side just in case we need it. I'll let you decide while I'm laying this on here. So I'm gonna get this on pretty even. Let's see, right about there. I think right there. Better put it right like that. So I'm gonna pull this transfer right out of the sleeve. And I will be a good little hostess here. And I will show you the proper way to handle this so you don't ever forget by using a permanent marker to write on the back. And I'm going to go winter or fall, winter 2020 back, Santa approved. Just like that. We're doing the Santa approved. Dry brush the silver over the top and definitely use the bark. Okay. I think we'll give it a shot. We'll see. Okay. So now this has an adhesive on it for those of you that have never seen this. There is an adhesive. It's on the back there. And those of you who are just first timers here, you can message me. I do have little sample kits, sample sized kits. You can message me about how to get those here on the page. All right, let's check this out and see if this is even. I think I'm going to put these over the side so I can kind of measure. It's a little to the right. I need to move it over just a tad. Now it's a little to the left because, yeah, I moved it a little too far to the left. We're eyeballing because I do not have OCD. I'm going to tell, and if you were here right in this room right now, you would know I do not have OCD. If Darlene was here, because she's my aunt, she would tell you she does not have OCD. Now my dad, yeah, he's got OCD. So I am not guilty of that. Partly, you know, I try to clean a lot, but I'm never that successful. I live alone. I work all the time. So me and cleaning, we don't always get along together. It just is. But since I live alone, you know, when it bugs me, I clean it. Okay. So what we're going to do, we have to work somewhat quickly when we're using the inks on this stuff. Let's see if I can open this one. There we go. I haven't used this in a while. Okay, because I've had this ink for a while. I will admit it, I have had it for a while. Actually, this ink has gone through making a quilt, a very large quilt, and many, many projects, because this Tide color is one of my favorite. Okay, so we got the Tide. And then I have the bark, which is right here. I have to be real careful because I do not want to get this stuff all over. Actually, here's what we're going to do. Just to help me out, to keep me from making a mess. We will put this right here on this other Teflon sheet. Just so that it doesn't cause a mess. Okay, so I have Santa here. And this Santa approved. Maybe, you know, I almost want to put the red for the hat. No, you know what? I'm going to use the teal. This right here. For the hat, we'll use the bark here and the teal on the hat and everything else. That's how we're going to do it. See? All right. Teal. Teal. I call it teal, but it's actually called Tide. It is to me, it's a dark teal color. And when I look at it, I don't have quite that much on my thing. I'm going to go ahead, put this on here. Now, some people would say, why are you doing that on top of everything else? Because I don't want to pull it out, to be honest with you. But if you are finding it hard to push this down, don't put a mat like what I have underneath it. And we're going to come down here. And we've got this right here. This looks like the pom-pom at the end of that, so I'm gonna slip that in just like that. And there's just a little bit here on the side of his face. And we'll put right over here. This part right here will be the top of the hat. I think that's what that is. I should have looked at a reference image, but I didn't, so we'll get what we get. Okay. And I think I will do approved in the Tide color. Just like this. And that will be that part. And next, wipe off my hands, because if you don't wipe off your hands, you're liable to get something on it. So you guys can kind of see where I have some blue right there on that because it was on my fingers. And I have been known to accidentally get that stuff on some other part of the project, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so next we're going with the bark. And I know it seems like, why would you put brown on Santa's beard? But remember, we have that silver that we're going to be using shortly. The shimmer silver. I think that will be a good thing to kind of brush. Use a brush, as Lynn recommended here, watching me. So this particular color is a lot newer than my Tide was, so it's thinner. So I am like this, like this, and this. All right. Okay, so I'm looking up there at the top. I see a little spot. I see a little spot. I'm going to get that spot. Because, you know, projects are important. And now, to peel this off, just like that. Okay. He's looking pretty good right now, but I am not done. Shimmer, anything is good. All right, I'm going to go drop this in some water because we do not want the ink to dry in the transfer. So it will get in some water so that that will loosen up, and then I'll clean it. And when I'm done cleaning it, I will leave it on the on a towel with the sticky side up to dry so that it can be reused. I'll be right back. Let me just go drop this in some water. Water everywhere. Let's get some water, you guys. Okay. There we go. We got water going. It's dribbling right on it. So, next up, I'm going to dry this with my... Where did it go? There it is. The cords are hiding it. And look, hey, look. I should not have a problem drying it like this. This is just to get it dry for the first just so that it's dry enough that I can use my shimmer paste with a brush on top of it. And look, we don't have any air conditioners running, so there won't be a power outage. I am just drying it out because I don't want that ink to pop off of there. Okay, now to shimmer it. We're going to put some shimmer paste, some shimmer ink on it. If I can open my shimmer. There we go. I opened it. And I'm going to put a little bit of water. This is just a nice little kind of like a atomizer to spritz in there. And let me find a brush. I'll use this one. I think I will use this one. I'm going, wait a minute, where's that other brush? I had a fan brush. I don't know what happened to it. Okay, and let me stir this up a little bit. I'm going to stir that water that I spritzed in there. Just like that. You guys can might be able to hear the water in the sink dribbling. I can hear it. I don't know if you can, but I can. And then this, I'm just trying to do kind of like a dry brush. And it's not picking that up very well. There. Okay, so I'm gonna, I don't know if I want to do it on my hand. Because I'd be likely to get it all over the place again, because that's what I do. Okay, I'm just going to brush it off here like this. And I kind of like that. I think right here, right where it's lightening up. Let me pick a little bit more of it up. I'm going to try something. Put a little spritz of water on it. There we go. That might help it pick up and thin down. Like that. Just like that. We'll put some more right there. What do you think so far? I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? And just add just a splash of color. Here, here, here. And like that. And we'll do a little more here. Just like that. Got to get some more right here, right along there. And put a little more together. So, I was saying yesterday, as I'm doing this, I was saying yesterday that Chalk Couture, they went, we're adding some to his beard. They did something extraordinary this last year. Because of COVID, they set it up so that designers would only have to have a quota for each sales period, which is a quarter, 3 months, $100. Well, they went and did something even better. They have made it so it's permanent. It used to be 150 USD, now it's 100 every 3 months. And that's normal in most sales organizations. You just have to do a minimum. Plus, when we say $100, it's not that you're paying retail, it's at a 40% discount. So if I tell you like this transfer, I think it's $14.99, I'm going to tell you that we only pay 60% of that. So something like $8.99, I think, is what I pay for these transfers. I'm being totally upfront with you. I'm not going to hide. And you can do anything you want. So like this particular bag, if I want to take this bag and turn around and sell it, and I could probably sell this maybe $25, $30, I think, maybe more. Who knows? If I put a bigger transfer, I would charge more. But you can take these things and sell them as finished products. That is allowed. All of the designs are licensed. They are fully licensed. Whoops. All these things are fully licensed. I think I'll just kind of brush this in. How's that? I like that. They are fully licensed for you to use. You can make all kinds of different projects with them. You can sell them. I have seen people on Etsy selling projects made with Chalk Couture stuff. With Chalk Couture transfers, they make all kinds of stuff and they sell it out there. Even on the marketplace, I have things that I put on the marketplace, my local marketplace. And of course, the other option is to, and I'm kind of talking while I'm doing this. The other option is to run classes. I knew a lady who, she did like, what did she say? 60 classes in 1 month. She ran 60 classes in 1 month at her house. I don't have a house, I have an apartment. So I don't know that I can do that effectively. But 60 classes, people. 60. Okay. So now that I have this as done as I'm going to do it, I'm going to start closing these things up. I like to close up my jars when I'm done, especially on the ink projects. I don't mind it so much on the paste projects because the paste is easy because you can clean it. Okay, I wanted to put, I want to do a little blue in his eyes. Let's see if I can do it. There. I'm going to call that good. And let me go put these in the sink to clean and away from this because I don't want to mess that up. Here we go. Got that, and I'm going to finish closing these up. And then the next step is to dry it and heat set it so that it will be done. Okay. That one closed. That one's already closed. Get my brown closed. And one more with this to dry it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put my, let's make sure this is clean. Yeah, that's clean. That's looking pretty clean. It's just got a little water on it. And here we go. I'm going to hit the button. I am doing with this heat press 300 and, well, it's at 360 for 30 seconds in one spot. It's supposed to be on one spot. I'm doing it going all over. You don't have to do what I'm doing here. You just leave it setting. If you're going to use an iron, you go on a hot setting with no steam. You do 4 minutes one side and then you flip it over, flip your fabric over, and you do 4 minutes on the other side. So we're going to go up there, right up here. And 30 seconds, and then we'll be done. Actually, I'll probably iron the whole thing. And I was going to show you guys some other projects, but they hadn't uploaded. And I'm still seeing that they're not all uploaded. I wanted them uploaded to show you, but I guess I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. So, here we go with our Santa bag. Look at that, Santa. And now you guys can see, based on what you're seeing here, on the back of this Teflon sheet, why I put a Teflon sheet and I sandwich it. A lot of people will not sandwich, so you guys can see where the ink seeped through in spots. People won't sandwich their fabric and then they're going to get an imprint on the back. So if you have a single layer, it's not a big deal. But when you have double layers, I like to sandwich it because I don't want that on the back. And this is Teflon sheet. These are easy to wash. I just take them and put them in the sink and scrub them. So here it is, the Santa bag. And it even has a drawstring. So let's let me put this up here like this so you can see. Here's our Santa bag. I know it's like, how can I see it? See? So you can fill it up with boxes and things and put it under your Christmas tree as a decoration. Or if you have a young child that you're going to give them a big stuffed animal or something like that, what a perfect way to give it to them. A big giant Santa bag. Or if somebody you know plays Santa, here we go. Big Santa bag. This is Santa approved. Santa approved. So I hope you guys enjoyed this evening. Let's see if I can clip this up, because I have clips. Usually I have clips. We'll pop this up here so it's behind me. There we go. So if you have any questions, or if you are interested in trying out this, we have lots of projects and things available. Just message the page or drop me a note below and I'll help you. All right, good night, everybody.